Hello there, once again, Santon from Anton Bay. Thank you for stopping by the collection room. Today we're looking at some more comics. It's Ultraverse Mantra. This will be the last video for Ultraverse Mantra. I think this is the last ones. This is the final issue. This is issue 24. Hi, Ollie. I can hear him in the other room. And if you like this video or any of those videos like it of mine, please hit the like button and the subscribe button if you would like to get content like this, which is really just me hanging out in my room talking to people who are out in the internet land about comics. And in this case, it's about Mantra comics, which are a complicated mess of awkwardness because of the overall plot here. Ancient male warrior trapped in a modern mom's body, carrying the powers of the Mantra, fighting crime in a future time. Why did that sound so familiar? Anyway, this makes a lot of dialogue about the book, somewhat strange. You never knew if to say her or he. It's the whole ridiculous, what are my pronouns garbage. And it was not happening in 1995, which I think is when this was. Yep, May of 1995. And it wouldn't be happening in our country for another long time. Like, oh shit, 20 years? Wow. Yeah. 20 years before any of that really started happening. I don't think it was an analogy back then because nothing else in these comics was an analogy for anything at the time. It just is what it is. It was an awkward story that when Marvel got a hold of them, they fixed it. They changed it to just a woman in a woman's body, which admittedly took away some of the awkward, cool storytelling and some of the fish out of water type plot, but it made it easier to identify, and you could boldly and safely say, you know, Mantra's hot without somebody saying, but it's a dude, you know, as they would in 1995. That's how they rolled. That's how it was. The art in these issues is great. Some of them look really hasty. I've noticed this. Malibu, their later runs of stuff were, it was just like they were very hastily done, almost very quickly drawn and put together. This is a little bit awkward because if you squint, it looks like she has two heads, but she's just carrying a girl. These are very nice glossy pages. This is all orange backgrounds. It's kind of weird. A living cartoon, Wile E. Coyote. That's pretty neat. Very glossy pages, and they're pretty sparse on the ads. The ads are mostly Marvel ads, but I've noticed this with a lot of these later Ultraverse comics. They're very thin. Like, I know Marvel owned them by this time. We've even got Loki appearing in the book in issue 24, but it's, I don't know. It's like they're not putting quite as many pages in it, and that's an amazing opening page. You got Loki fighting Primeval, Mantra coming up on the backside. Monkey shocks himself. Monkey says, I'm really tired of bananas. Nobody gets tired of bananas. Hello, folks. My name's Bobo. They made him even wear the little hat. Okay, so if you don't know, Primeval is literally one of Prime's gross husk skin things that he, like, was reanimated by a sorcerer, I think. So he's as strong as Prime, but he's really just a husk of Prime. It's gross. Did you just squish the monkey inside of him? There is precious few words on these pages, and that's awesome. So is the coloring, by the way. Look at how all these are really popping. Malibu doing their thing. Now, I haven't finished reading out the Mantra series, so I don't know if it gets to finish itself properly with, like, the story complete. I know, like, I really enjoyed Hard Case is one of my favorite Malibu titles. And it kind of stops mid storyline, and it never gets a proper resolution. It just kind of ends. And I think they try to resolve it in another book, but it's done very hastily. And it also has Loki poking his head in, as I think a lot of these do. Power of Prime. Yeah, when I hold these, they're very glossy and nice pages, but they feel really thin. Like really thin. And then came Trembler. And Mantra is looking more and more like your standard bad girl from the 90s. And that is a problem because Mantra couldn't get lumped in with the bad girls, even though I think they were trying to get her to do that, or trying to get the character in there. But with the confusing, like, writing about the character and the soul of the body, it was awkward and it didn't work. You can see why it wouldn't work. The King of Canoga Park. See, this was not a Marvel title officially, so there was no comic code, so you would see some scenes like this that are a little more risque than some. Mortal Kombat. Is that the first one? It must be the first one. Yeah, that movie was such a load. Not as big a load as the second one, but it was a load. I always wanted this. Nightman versus Wolverine. And it ain't for the weak of heart. But yeah, I heard it was like pretty gory. But Nightman was a very like gory comic. You want to get down to it. There was a lot of violence in Nightman. One of the better of all Malibu titles, I should say. Just picture Batman if he played jazz, had a radio station, a pirate radio station, got beat up a lot and was cooler. Way, way cooler. And a lot less rich and ridiculous. And yet we never had to deal with Prime, or the Nightman trying to beat the shit out of Prime. That was like a... Why would he do that? Why does Batman do that with Superman? It's just... Don't even get me started. Stupid prep time and crap. Let's get back to the awkward reality that is Mantra. When heroes need heroes. Ultraverse! The comic book. Probably one of the bigger star-studded titles of their whole thing, and it didn't run very long. I think it was one of the shortest running books. I think it only ran 10 issues in the original series. Kids wearing a Prime shirt. I don't remember who this like ponytail man is. East Coast was still alive though. That's good. Listen, all of you, don't make me go that far. That far. That's it. These pages, I mean, they're very timed. I mean, they're very 90s, you could tell. But, you know what? They stay very vibrantly colored. A lot of comics, you know, they tend to fade with age, or they color palette the whole thing down a little bit darker. These are just awesome. Very bright, very colorful. Of course, we've been wanting the Topaz thing for a long time. Topaz is like the most feminist, man-hating, what you want to call it, unlikable character creature in like the whole Malibu Ultraverse. Hates men, has no use for them. So of course, she's probably going to think Mantra is her friend. So she feels out that like it's a man in there, and then it's going to be like a big problem. So of course, we had to see it at the end of the whole series. Topaz has a cool design. What, she's not blue? I guess we're in Ultraforce, but Mantra was never in Ultraforce. I don't even think Mantra was in the cartoon. It's been a long time since I've watched it. I need to find that out if Mantra was in the cartoon. I don't believe she was. Yep, there you go. Liar, foe of Gwenda, betrayer of womanhood. And there you have it. Topaz hates a woman, even if it's a man inside. Such complicated things. And you can see why this was just awkward. And of course, you got Prime saying, oh man, this is all my fault. And so much for sisterhood is powerful. It'd be interesting to see which one survives. And Ghoul saying, I'd like it better if they were mud wrestling. But literally, two characters are going to kill each other and beating each other to death, fighting over something. And nobody cares. They're just watching. Which, that's pretty much happens quite often. For some reason, when women fight. People just think it's entertaining instead of actually trying to save somebody, break up a fight. Anyway. Topaz screaming about blasphemy and all that crap. Now, who just ripped Ghoul's head off? That's terrible. He's one of the most likable characters. This White Queen rip-off character here, if you've ever seen one. She's got mental powers. She floats around. Looks like Emma Frost. This is Contrary. She's the de facto assembler of the Ultraforce and the leader of it. Basically manipulates everybody all the time. But at least she's really open about manipulating all her people, as opposed to like Charles Xavier or Emma Frost is. Very, very open about it. Did we just shoot Prime's head off? That happens sometimes. He has to grow back a new one. Mantra gets zapped. I almost forget this is a Mantra comic because we've gone so heavy into the Ultraverse, the Ultraforce. And now we're at the end, and that's just it. The fight's over, and it's, thanks Topaz, I'll be here if you need me. Well, no you won't. This will be pretty much the last time you appear in a book, pretty sure. And we get taken over, the Mantra title gets taken over by a blonde girl in the Marvel Universe. That's pretty much it. This is the last of the Mantra titles. Ended at issue 24, and that's pretty much all I got. It's weird. It's one of the more awkward Ultraverse titles. I plan on doing some more Ultraverse titles. I've already done The Solution. That's been like a year or so ago. But I've done Mantra, and I've done a few issues of Prime. I really want to get tied into like Hard Case or something like that and run through the whole series. I've done the whole Nightman series, or most of it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I said it before, I appreciate it if you hit the like button. If you made it this far, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. So that's my story. Thanks for watching.